To you, thank you for staying with TV3. This is News 360 coming to you live from our studio here at Adesanwe in Accra. I am Martin Esedu Date.
My name is Aisha Yakubu Khalid. Coming up tonight.
360 Headlines is brought to you by
Flamingo Paint. Superior durability, superior hiding, superior coverage, simply superior.
Obeidin, a resident of Ntankofol in the Sekondi Takoradi metropolis, allegedly killed in police custody, buried.
Also this evening, Minister for Chieftaincy and Religious Affairs Stephen Asamoah Boateng pledges to do all he can to resolve the age-long Boko conflict.
Also tonight, we look at the food delivery chain in Ghana, exploring risks, if any, in using courier service deliveries.
And on mission tonight, we visit Balolo in the Sisala East municipality of the Upper West region to explore access to antenatal services.
In international news this evening, Sudan leader insists army has control of key sites as army and paramilitary forces clash in various cities. Stay with us here on News 360 for details of these stories and many others, including sports and entertainment. Don't forget, we're also live on DSTV channel 279. In the details tonight, Emmanuel Obeidin, a resident of Ntankofol, a community in the Sekondi Takoradi metropolis, who was allegedly killed in police custody, has been buried. This was after an autopsy was conducted on the body by the police. The autopsy report, according to the family, showed that the victim suffered severe chest injury and gunshots at a close range. Western Regional Correspondent Pa Kojo Peters has more.
So we followed up to the Eternity Funeral Home at Funko here in the Western region, where the body of the late Emmanuel Obeidin, popularly known as Abu, a resident of Ntankofo, a community here in the Sekondi Takoradi metropolis, was brought to after an autopsy conducted on the body by the police. I'm here with some selected members of the family as well as some friends to finally take the body from the mortuary for burial. So behind me is the body of the late Abu, which is being prepared for the burial. The Imam here is offering the final prayer so that the body can finally be buried. So the body is finally being conveyed to the cemetery for the burial of the late Abu. So this is the final resting place of the late Abu, and according to the family, they are not going to relent over this issue. They are going to ensure that both the family and police will sit down so that they will go deep into the matter and find out what really transpired that led to the sudden and unfortunate demise of the late brother. And again, they are pleading with authorities, that the police authorities, to ensure justice prevails.
Oh, as a family and friend, you're happy. Incident in Sene from A to Z, you're happy. To be frank, the truth of the matter is, who be some questions, there will be Sebiano. Me in this country, me say Enko baby. It's a hundred being asked my Canada. So what no call, so Okun or Carnival, so Okun or Quamo. Sir, what did you know? So what Burno Wio, Yankopadon Bibia. We
also spoke to the assembly member for Kansaro electoral area, Isaac Pascal. He was also part of the team that went to the police hospital. So he told us what transpired when they went to the police hospital.
So after everything, consultation with the IGP and those people, we went back to the mortuary theater. So there we saw our bodies there, and they showed us that it was a gunshot from the chest. So we asked them, we know when people came and arrest our brother, you handcuffed him. So how come that you shot him from the front? Meanwhile, I know from my knowledge that when someone is running, you rather shoot it from the back. Why is it that the gunshot is on his chest? And they told us we are not the one to come and teach them what to do. So it was sharp understanding between me and those who went there. From what we saw there, we were very sad because we saw that what we were being told here and what we went and witnessed, there was something different.
All right, so we are staying on issues of security generally. We'll go to Bawku and then also give you the very latest regarding what the Chieftaincy Minister has been doing when he visited Bawku, which is also a first in terms of state institutions and individuals who've managed to go there to get information. But let's have a brief discussion with our guest, Honorable Adam Bona, who has joined us, doctor actually, regarding the story we just heard having to do with Ntankofo, the citizens doubting the account that has been given by the police about the death of the gentleman in question, Wan Bedu. So, Dr. Bona, good evening. Thank you for joining us. I know this is more like an ambush of you on this subject, but then I realize you were listening quite intensely to the narrative that the citizens were sharing. What are your immediate thoughts, especially when the citizens are doubting information coming from the police where a civilian has died in their custody?
Well, listening to it, I could, condolences to the bereaved family. It's sad that the young man has to die. I mean, I understand investigations are ongoing, but you can see one of the persons you interviewed actually saying the bullet penetrated him from the front. Mm. And when they questioned, they were told they are not those to teach them their work. I implore the police administration to investigate every bit of this, unfortunate situation. It's sad that he had to die this way. And so if after investigations they realize they actually get punished. I think the story of the Aswansi 7. How do you call it? The Aswansi 7 died. They were shot. That happened about 3, 4, 5 years ago. They were shot and firearms placed around them. And eventually, a committee set up by the Interior Minister declared them innocent and compensation was paid to the bereaved families. So I think they should be done. But I would say some regional police commanders need to sit up because then these things shouldn't be happening under them.
Right.
These things shouldn't be happening under them. You have the police headquarters here. It is a reason why the police administration has expanded its jurisdiction. Now they've moved from 18 to about 24 police regions. So the expectations are that they will do their best to ensure that citizens will continue to count on them and to believe that they are there to protect them. Okay. Even though I'm not trying to say the young man is innocent, I think that probably from what I've gathered, they could have actually acted a bit more professional.
More better. All right. So kindly hold on for us. Let's bring the substantive story for which we called for your thoughts. Then we can have that discussion after this story. And it is that the Minister for Chieftaincy and Religious Affairs, Stephen Asamoah Boateng, has pledged to do all he can to resolve the age-long conflict in Bawku. The minister made the promise during his first official visit to Bawku on Saturday, the 15th of April, to obtain first-hand information and familiarization of the area.
The minister, in the company of some security personnel, engaged the overlord and elders of the Kusok traditional area. The visit was the minister's first to the traditional area since assuming office. It was aimed at exploring ways to bring closure to the lingering chieftaincy dispute between the Kusasis and the Mamprosis. At Ideba, Stephen Asamoah Boateng assured the people of the traditional area of government support to use constitutional provisions to address the Bawku issue.
The number one job for any government, if you are worth a salt, is to maintain law and order. That's number one job. If you wake up in the morning, you must be free enough to do what you want to do. If you are healthy, which God will give you, and you have the ability to fend for yourself, it is the state's responsibility to protect you. And that I can assure you, and that is the assurance I can give you, law and order is always at the heart of government. And the rule of law is our belief, and we would pursue it and make sure that people are happy and people abide by the rule of law so that we can all live peacefully. And I know sometimes we have to go behind the scenes, and that's what I assure you. I'll go behind the scenes, we will do a private chat, and we will draw a roadmap. There would be a roadmap that we can all follow. I know there will be difficulties along the way. I know there will be challenges along the way. I know there will be compromises along the way. I know the core values will be protected so that you don't compromise too much too. So at the end of it, there will be peace, lasting peace. At the end of it, the nation will be one people with one common agenda.
The Zugran of Kusok traditional area, Naba Asigri Abugrago Azoka II, was appreciative of the Chieftaincy and Religious Affairs Minister's visit and urged the state to enforce the law to the latter. The Bawku Chieftaincy dispute, which dates several years ago, has led to the death of several people. The conflict has also affected economic activities, healthcare delivery, education, among others.
All right, so Dr. Adam Bonah is still with us. So, Doc, what are your initial thoughts, on the fact that at least for the first time in a long time, we have a government official going into the Bawku Township to meet the chiefs and people there?
Well, gratifying, I wouldn't say, maybe you want to say this year, because last year some ministers were there to try and engage them. But this year, I'm not privy to. I think this year, the regional minister attempted something like that. Partially, he was successful. But it is gratifying that at least, Honorable Asamoah Boateng, Asabi, is playing that frontal role, in ensuring that lasting peace returns to Bawku. Some of us have been calling for this for a very long time. And I think when I listened to the soundbite yourselves, you shared with me what some of the things you said. Some of the things has to do with communication. Who do you talk to? Who is the person who is rallying everybody around? Who is the person, the go-to person when it comes to these Bawku issues? And so it is gratifying that the chieftaincy minister better late than never. And I think he actually indicates that his predecessor took ill, and because of that, there was a vacuum. And so I am hopeful that as he has now taken the center stage, he is going to ensure that he brings everybody to the table, everybody who matters to the table when it comes to this Bawku conflict, so that, Georgia would work instead of, using the security approach to dealing with Bawku, which has never worked. I mean, the security approach has never worked in any conflict all over the world. And so behind the scene, as you said, dialogue, sitting with the people, finding out the root cause of the Bawku conflict has to do with chieftaincy. Now it has moved from chieftaincy. We've added a layer of criminality and, profiteering by some politicians and all that. And so it's a very complicated, sensitive matter. But I am very sure that Asamoah Boateng, with his level of experience when it comes to politics, and also playing a role probably in some of these things, I am tempted to believe that he will do a good job if he's able to, come up with a very workable roadmap. That is what is lacking in this Bawku issue.
Right. Dr. Bona, thank you so much for your time this evening. Certainly, I will be coming back to you in subsequent bulletins for your thoughts on how this entire Bawku conversation can be, situated properly for lasting peace to return to the area.
Let's turn our attention to some other stories tonight. There are growing reports of people's Ghana cards being linked to mobile numbers which do not belong to them. This new data breach has left many worried about the safety of their personal data, which was captured by the National Identification Authority. Martin Isidudate reports.
You could be arrested for a crime or fraud your Ghana card has been used to commit without your knowledge. The likelihood of this happening has increased in recent times following reports of people's Ghana cards details being used to register SIM cards. The data breach, which has been reported widely, started when some Ghana card holders could not register their SIM cards because their data had already been used to do same. Journalist Kofi Adoma was one of the earliest people to realize the anomaly and started seeking answers to this.
A lot of complaints. After the video went viral, a lot of people have called with several challenges that they face. In fact, there is one audio I sent your producer where one gentleman was arrested, but actually it was due to impersonation. Someone had used his data to register, to defraud someone. He went to register a merchant SIM, and in the process, he was told the SIM could not be, the process could not go through. He left not knowing they had done the registration and sold it to these fraudsters, and they used it in duping others. So it's a serious concern.
One victim, Nana Kwejo Iyaboa, says he experienced a challenge on one of his mobile numbers and visited the telecom network only to be told that he could not register a new number because his Ghana card had been used to register 10 separate numbers which did not belong to him.
The other day, my other number was having connection issues. So I went to one of their offices to check what was the cause. It was when that I found out that about 5 numbers have been registered with my Ghana card without my knowledge. So I tried to buy another SIM to register. The lady told me I can't do that because I've exhausted the 10 number registration limit with my Ghana card, and there were something conflicting data issues. I was surprised. I had only registered 3 SIMs. That is 2 MTN and then 1 Vodafone.
The Ghana Chamber of Telecommunications says efforts are underway to introduce a short code that individuals can use to check whether or not they have been affected by this growing data breach.
I'm pretty sure that by the close of this month, these processes, the short code will be completed. I'm pretty sure that by the close of this month, that is going to be done. And so on a constant basis, the industry, the regulator, together with the MNOs, are looking into these things and finding ways in which, these fraudulent practices are dealt with.
Meanwhile, the National Communications Authority has ordered all telecom operators and internet service providers to deactivate a wide range of SIM cards from their network by Monday, April 17. According to the NCA, the telecom companies should undertake the deactivation and ensure that it reflects in the central SIM registration database, after which a report should be sent to the regulator latest by Tuesday, April 18. This comes on the back of recent reports of fraudulent activities where people's Ghana cards have been used to register several SIM cards without their knowledge. In a letter addressed to the telecom companies and signed by Acting Deputy Director General for Technical Operations at NCA, Professor Eza Osei Yeboah-Boateng, the regulator said all SIMs that have been disconnected in compliance with the March 31 deadline from their SIM registration databases and same should reflect in the central SIM. Now, these should include SIMs that remain blocked in compliance with the Minister's directive on November 30. The telcos must indicate in writing to the NCA by Tuesday, April 18, the total number of SIMs disconnected as per the directive.
Let's turn our attention to security-related issues, and comments made by Agric Minister Brian Acheampong during the week generated a lot of controversies. Both leading parties counter-petitioning the police CID to probe what they say are comments capable of inciting violence during the 2024 general elections. And here is a report by my colleague Noble Crosby-Yannan, who has been exploring the fallouts from the minister's comments and has come through with this report.
He has been the eye of the storm for the past week after he mounted the podium and addressed a charged NPP crowd in the Eastern region. Although the platform was, to some analysts, the biggest campaign platform yet for the Vice President, Dr. Bawumia, in his quest to lead the NPP. The former Minister of State in charge of national security stole the headlines and sustained it. Political analysts, governance watchers, and many more have taken on the new Minister for Agric, Brian Acheampong, over his comments. Indeed, the reactions have come from various political divides, CSOs, and security analysts. A founding member of the ruling NPP, Dr. Nyaho Tamaklo, did not mince words when he asked leadership of the party to call the embattled minister to, quote, sanity. As expected, some members of the opposition, the National Democratic Congress, have taken him on, describing the comments as reckless. Communications Officer of the party, Sami Jenfi, says if Brian and his ilk are motivated by getting away with the evil they perpetrated during the Ayawaso West Wuogon by-election and the 2020 elections, then they are sorely mistaken, for it will not be business as usual. Notice is hereby served. Ningo Prampram MP Sam George called their supporters to ignore the rantings of scarecrows and hype simpletons and asked if the party can go back to their old ways. Well, the opposition NDC, led by the Director of Legal Affairs, Ibrahim Amaliba, subsequently petitioned the CID to probe the issue.
The CID boss indicated to us his appreciation of what we have done, and she was of the view that she would take the necessary steps, having received the petition.
The NDC's position on the comments they described as treasonable was corroborated in a statement signed by NDC General Secretary Fifi Kwete, saying such comments truly demonstrate a patterned, well-rehearsed strategy for the New Patriotic Party going into the 2024 presidential and parliamentary elections. The New Patriotic Party, in a rebuttal, noted the NDC's reaction is ill-founded, hypocritical, illogical, and baseless. The party rather called for the arrest of former President John Dramani Mahama and the party chairman Asidu Nketia for comments made in the past.
We have also petitioned the police CID to arrest and investigate and prosecute the former president for some of these criminally intended statements. Mr. Asidu Nketia have also said that they will do anything to make sure they win this election, even including sacrificing their lives.
Pressure began mounting on the National Peace Council to speak up.
When you appeal to the conscience of people, it makes much more sense. For instance, right now everybody is expecting you go have to condemn this. Condemnation doesn't solve any problem. But we appeal to the conscience of people. Is it right in your capacity as a gentleman to make this or that statement?
As condemnation for the Agric Minister's comments grew, political marketing and communication strategist Professor Kobi Mensah, speaking on the key points, asked the governing New Patriotic Party to openly criticize Brian Acheampong. He also wants the Electoral Commission and security agencies to be concerned about the pronouncements.
If we do not criticize and if we do not let him suffer consequences, eventually what we are telling the young people especially is that it is okay to speak like that and you go scot-free. It is important for the leadership of the party, if they care about their due diligence, their democratic credentials, I think that it is appropriate not only for them to sort of criticize him in private, but they have to do it in public. I think that the EC must be concerned, the security agencies must be concerned.
Director of Local Government, Decentralization and Rural Development at the Presidency, Dennis Miracles Obuaji, insists Bernard Champong did nothing wrong.
Bernard Champong did not mean violence. Bernard Champong is basically saying that if you decide to come into the election with violence, we are not going to hand over power to you because you bring violence. Bernard Champong's statement had the preceding comment. It was conditional. It was within a context. Who told you that when you say you have the men, it means that it is violence? Again, if we are to really interpret the words and the comment and the statement made by all these political functionaries, then Brian's comment is the least of all the weights.
Well, for NDC MP for Dododo, Edward Nilante van der Poy, the non-repentant nature of Brian Champong and the MPP, following the comments by the former, will influence the posture and preparedness of the NDC going into the 2024 elections.
What you have said is good education for us in NDC. Good education for us. Because we have taken it that this is what has built up in you. This is your mindset. This is your thinking as we lead towards the election. But what you have said has in tuned us, has made us aware of your preparations, your mindset leading up to these elections.
As the country prepares for the 2024 polls, the political atmosphere is bound to be charged. Stakes are high. However, Ghana is all we have.
Now, the internet and technology have made it easy for one to satisfy their cravings, no matter how far their choice of food is, with the help of courier service providers. But have you ever wondered the manner in which your food is handled? There's more in the following report. Food delivery has drastically changed over the last decade in Ghana. Pizza joints and Chinese fast food restaurants perhaps paved the way for what has become a universal means of food delivery. Just about a decade ago, your options of food choices were limited to what you ate at home or in your vicinity. But that has all changed thanks to technology. The internet and motorbikes have greatly revolutionized foods and their delivery across the country. People are now provided with varieties of food and a lot of vendors to choose from far and near. At the heart of the food delivery ecosystem are independent courier service providers, young men who transport orders from food joints to their customers. Isaac is one of the numerous young men engaged in the delivery business. He has been in this business for 4.5 years.
We are doing this one because of our own future, you understand? Because we can't go and steal. I mean, I have customers. I can show their numbers. I deliver food to them. No problem. They get their food, they live and they do there. I don't get any fault. Nobody have come here, I've eaten your food, I'm sick and all this. No.
Richard also works for a company that delivers fresh milk.
The job is very nice to me because there is no job. It's not everyone who like to do this kind of work. A lot of motor riders have their personal job that they want to do, but the way the system is, so you have to join it.
But the service of motor courier services especially has come with several concerns. From cost of delivery to how food is handled, the list is endless.
Sometimes, let me say, it's annoying, it's frustrating because sometimes you're very hungry and then you've ordered for food, which is not cheap, by the way, and then it comes and it's in a bad state.
I have a problem with the delivery guys. Usually when you order the food, they tell you that it's on its way. They give your contact to the delivery guy, but then when the person calls you, but you don't know whether baby answer no ba.
The Courier Service Regulatory Commission, the body mandated to regulate the sector, says Ghana's current food delivery chain is fraught with a lot of challenges. The Commission has attributed this to the influx of unlicensed and untrained courier service providers.
The illegal operators, including the Okada riders, they are not trained. These untrained people, they go around collecting people's items, parcels, or food from the restaurants and chop bars and even food vendors. And they keep these food items anyhow. You don't place food or you don't keep food in a metal or plastic receptacles. You don't do that. If it's food, you keep them in bags. The licensed ones, we have given them stickers. The ones without a sticker, if they cannot show you their stickers, then it means that they are illegal operators. So it's an offense, punishable by law.
The Food and Drugs Authority is also concerned about the states these foods are transported in.
For us, the food safety aspect is what we would look at, because if it is spilling, the food more or less has been exposed. Yes. And that is a serious thing that you can report on, because the food should not come that way. The structure that they use should be able to maintain the product, at least in terms of warmth, if it's a product that must be kept warm.
But the riders say sometimes they are not given much of a choice.
It's not good to do them like that. But if I have baskets for my back, they will catch me. If I don't have baskets, they will catch me. If I have lances, they will catch me. If I don't have lances, they will catch me. Now they make everybody do what he like.
I've gotten an order, maybe the person will pay me 10 cedis and police going to arrest me and take 50 cedis from me. So I'll do with some means that maybe I can get my small money. They have warned you don't pass through traffic light and those kind of. So I just obey the rules. That's all.
As the food delivery industry continues to expand, market dynamics to legal and regulatory issues will help determine the levels of success for the various players. Aisha Yakubu Khalid, TV3 News, Accra.
All right, still on News 360, and I'm sure you may have had reusable water bottles while growing up, and probably even now still do. Well, it has emerged that all along you may have been taking in more than just water, because these bottles contain more bacteria than toilet seats. Sarah Penkro has been looking into the latest research by water filter guru of Denver, Colorado.
According to the research, reusable water bottles held an average of 20.8 million CFUs, which estimates the number of living microbes on the sample. Also, on the average, reusable water bottles had 14 times the bacteria of a PET water bowl and 5 times that found on a computer mouse. Of all the water bottle types, those with spout top and screw top lids contained the most bacteria, with 30 million CFUs each, the study found. This may seem far-fetched, but then let's bring it home. From the toddler, the youngster, and adult to the sports fellow, the reusable water bottle has been a companion. Antina has been in the business of selling reusable bottles for years, and she has some concerns with patrons.
Being used to water bottle,
if your child uses water bottle and you can't wash it well, then you are feeding them with germs.
Every week,
we visited the bacteriology department of the Noguchi Memorial Institute to find out more. Even though the institute is yet to conduct any such research, senior research fellow Dr. Gloria Ivy Mensah explains how these bottles pick up bacteria.
The contamination will likely come from 2 sources. You know, we already have bacteria in our oral cavity. We have what we call normal bacteria that we have in our mouth. There could also be the issue of personal hygiene. So you know the way we handle these water bottles. So if during the day you are carrying this bottle up and down, you climb stairs, you touch the banisters. You know, we touch a lot of things during the day. And then you use your same hands to open the water bottle. And then you touch the edge where you are going to drink the water from. It can introduce some contamination into the water.
According to Dr. Gloria Mensah, using the bottle is not an issue, but there must be a conscious effort at cleaning it the right way.
Ideally, it would be good to sanitize your hands before you open the bottle. Most of us have the illusion that because you have put water in the bottle, you don't necessarily have to wash it when you are reusing it, like the way we wash plates and cups. But you really need to wash it, make sure it is air dried before you use it again. If there's a lot of moisture, it also facilitates growth of bacteria.
Another concern is with persons who reuse the one-time water bottles meant to be disposed of once after use.
They are actually supposed to be single use. That's the main purpose. So if you want to reuse it, you have to treat it the same as you would treat a normal water bottle. Wash it with warm water and then fill it up again. Because once you have used it for a day, you have handled it, and you are not sure what you have introduced into the bottle.
It appears everyone has a unique way of handling and cleaning their reusable bottles. So, how do you keep your reusable water bottles clean?
Whenever I'm getting ready to go to the gym, I use hot water to erase it. Just hot water, normal water without soap, and then I just use my water. I pour my water into it and then use it.
Every 3 days, I wash it.
I wash it every 3 days with soap and warm water.
When they return from school, I wash it and rinse it with hot water every 3 days.
I use one as well as my children, and I always wash it and sanitize with hot water.
For Susan, she would rather be the devil's advocate as she disputes the responses by fellow users of reusable water bottles.
The truth is, we just use water and then shake it like this and pour it away and refill it. Most of the time, that is what we do. Or sanitize it, or boil it, or boil.
So you've heard from the expert, irrespective of your reusable water bottle, like the flip top, just like this one, the straw, the screw top, or the spout top, depending on how you clean it, you may be consuming more than water. So, be guided. Sarah Apenkro, TV3 News, Accra.
All right. So, how do you keep your water bottle? Because
I knew you were going to ask. I do drink a lot of water. I don't have a water bottle.
You do the regular?
Yes, I do the regular bottles.
We'll do the penny. Yeah. All right. You're still watching News 360. Stay with us. We have Mission right after this.
Everyone needs the perfect snack to munch on during a fun moment.
Wow.
Enjoy the tasty McBerry Twist cupcakes, deliciously baked and packaged for a sweet treat. Premium quality cakes baked with love for all, enriched in butter and milk.
Yummy.
Oh, McBerry Twist cupcakes. Simply irresistible. Try one today. This advert is FDA approved.
Soft Care Petal Cares. Great new design. Fit right. Reducing friction by 70%. It absorbs all liquid to prevent leakage. This advert has been vetted and approved by the FDA.
Wake up! We have just 50 minutes to set off.
Let's go. We want jollof for school.
Shower time. I'll make jollof.
Jollof? We have 45 minutes. What about the cutting, chopping, blending?
Tasty Tom Jollof Mix has all the ingredients to make jollof already mixed in the pack.
Is it going to taste the same?
So you say
And if a jollof will hook me.
Pour oil. Add 1 pack of 210 grams Tasty Tom Jollof Mix. Fry for 10 minutes. Add water, some cube, and salt. Add rice. In 45 minutes. Sharp. Let jollof now bean. Right on time.
delicious jollof in 45 minutes?
Easy cry. Tasty Tom Jollof Mix. Delicious jollof. Sharp, sharp. This advert is FDA approved.
Spending on a lady or a woman is like an investment, and you expect to get something in return in the near future.
Objection.
Okay.
Sometimes they over demand.
If you can't afford a lady, please go for the one you can afford. Simple.
The argument has fallen flat. When people say accidentally they have an affair, I don't get it. What? You were walking and you fell in.
The way she's dancing, I love it.
She did make me sweat. Someone, are you nervous?
Oh no, how are you?
Nice.
Date Rush shows every Sunday at 8 p.m. on TV3. Don't miss it. Date Rush is sponsored by
Rush Energy Drink.
Ladies and gentlemen, we're going to demonstrate to you the superior properties of Flamingo paint. As compared to other paint brands on the market, we take equal quantities of Flamingo paint and this ordinary paint. We then dilute them with water. And now, let the test begin. The gentleman on the left is going to apply the ordinary paint, and the gentleman on my right will use the Flamingo superior paint. As you can clearly see, Flamingo has the obvious better hiding. Furthermore, Flamingo has painted a much larger area. You know, one bucket of Flamingo paint is equal to several buckets of any other paint brand on the market. Flamingo paint is made with superior formulation to give superior durability, superior hiding, superior coverage. Flamingo paint, simply superior.
You need to ask yourself, where do you want to go? No matter who you are, trust yourself. Doing big. Break the rules, not the laws. Keep pushing. Everything is possible. Trust yourself. Life is about confidence. Africa, it's your time.
Son, live with confidence.
The sweet scent of rose in the morning brings me so much joy. Inspired by damask rose and infused with 100% natural rose oil. Introducing new Clay Soft Perfume Beads Washing Powder. It's like bringing a garden with you everywhere with this wonderful perfume. Take a garden with you everywhere you go with Clay Soft Perfume Beads Washing Powder.
Are you tired of struggling with bad financial situations? At Quick Credit, we understand the difficulties that come with transitioning to a better one. That's why we're here to simplify the process for you. With loan facilities from 1,500 cedis upwards, all you have to do is call and we will take care of the rest. All you need is your national ID. No savings, no collateral, no susu, no deposits, and no account opening required. Quick Credit has you covered. Whether you're expanding a business, starting a new one, facing an emergency like school fees or funeral expenses, or even just in need of a salary loan. What are you waiting for? Call Quick Credit today. 0302 200 390 or 059 692 0833. We do not give loans via the internet. Quick Credit is regulated and licensed by the Bank of Ghana. Terms and conditions apply. Quick Credit. Lending made simple.
Welcome back. It's now time for Mission. Mission is supported by Star Ghana Foundation with thanks to FCDO. Access to antenatal services at Balolo in the Sisala East municipality of the Upper West region is impeded by poor road network. Pregnant women are compelled to rely on traditional birth attendants for their maternal health care needs. Here's a report by Stanley Nibleo.
Balolo and 6 adjoining communities are not earmarked for a CHIP zone by the Sisala East Municipal Health Directorate, affecting maternal health care. Women go through a lot, especially from conception through to childbirth, because expectant mothers do not visit the municipal hospital for antenatal services due to poor road network and long hours of commuting. At Balolo, The services of traditional birth attendants are highly sought after. Halue Kunkun has been a traditional birth attendant for more than 2 decades. Although not educated, she uses the generationally acquired skill and locally crafted instruments to administer care to her clients. She receives between 15 and 25 pregnant women daily.
She only uses one instrument to check whether the baby is breathing or not. That's the instrument she's only having. But she can see inside. But the hospital, if you go there, we only do their scan and the blood test and all those things. But she is not having them. She only uses her experience. Let me say, she can feel it if the baby is not lying down well. And she can help you to put the baby in order.
In instances where the baby is detected to be in a poor position, especially mixed concoction is neared on the pregnant woman's tummy.
It isn't that people like coming to her, but when they come and she also looks at it, sometimes she refers them to go back to the hospital.
Traditional herbal medicines to ward off evil spirits are also available upon request. She charges token for services rendered. She told the mission team that she's monitored by the Municipal Health Directorate. This 20-year-old woman is anxious to welcome her first child, but has not visited the hospital since getting pregnant.
There's a difference between the traditional medicine and then the orthodox medicine. So sometimes you visit the hospital, what they give you, you still experience some pains at home. So that is why she has decided to come to the TBA.
Others who have also come to patronize the services of the traditional birth attendants have their reservations.
For nowadays that she's old and she's trying her best. Last 2 weeks or something like that, I came here, she was telling me that my pregnancy was 5 months. And I know it's not up to 5 months. So me myself, I know it's not up to 5 months. And she was telling me it's up to 5 months. You know, everybody's not perfect. So that's the reason why I can put my trust on her.
The Municipal Chief Executive for Sisala East, Fuseni Yakubu Baton, said the Assembly is committed to provide a CHIPS compound in Balolo, but lacks fund.
We have about 12 communities that don't have CHIPS compound. And the Assembly is doing everything possible to tackle them one after the other. So it's a gradual process. This is just our composite annual action plan. And in it, many of the issues that we said we were going to do for this year, you can bear with me that the way we envisage resources to come, we didn't get much. So many of them are being rolled over.
The TBA insisted that there has been no death at her facility, as those with complications are quickly rushed to the municipal hospital.
If she doesn't notice that the baby is breathing, it isn't that the baby is dead, but sometimes it could be as a result of the positioning of the hand. If the baby is even dead, she can't tell the mother that the baby is dead. She has to refer them to the hospital so that the doctors will now know what to do.
The Sisala East Municipal Health Authorities will not speak to the mission team about the situation. For pregnant women at Balolo, an improved health facility closer to them would motivate them to access antenatal services. Stanley Nibleu, TV3 News, Balolo, Sisala East.
Unfortunate development there in Balolo. You can find more on that particular one on our website. It's 3news.com. That's it for Mission. Mission is supported by Star Ghana Foundation with thanks to FCDO. Some sports news is up next.
Of talented kids, is it MFC Dance Camp, Abigail, Rahman, Eloquence, Darkness Models, or Emily. It's the final showdown with the 6 finalists of Talented Kids live from the Accra International Conference Center this Sunday, April 16 at 3 p.m. The playground opens at 12 noon for all game lovers. Our finalists have worked tirelessly to perfect their craft and they are ready to take the stage and give it their all. From mesmerizing dance routines to spellbinding singing performances, incredible modeling moves to word dexterity, there is something for everyone.
But he rush well and living us. Just a How many minerals are laughing under the capacious belly of the earth?
It's going to be a night of celebration of young talents and an opportunity to witness the stars of tomorrow shine bright today. Performing artists are Dope Nation, Photocopy, and many more. Tickets are selling at a cool 30 Ghana cedis at the front desk of TV3. To vote for your favorite contestant, dial *713*13# or download the TV3 Reality app to vote. Talented Kids, free to play.
Powered by Indomie. Sponsored by Pepsodent Cavity Fighter, Cowbell, Heaven Black Mosquito Coil and Insecticide Spray, Enapa Mackerel, Kiki Juice Drink, Flora Tissues, Top Choco, Coco Plus,
Deluxy Acrylic Paint. Brought to you by
Gentleman Cosmetic Range.
It's time for sports here on News 360. I am Aniela Alute. We start off on the domestic front with the Ghana Premier League. Aduana Stars claimed all 3 points in a 1-0 victory over Accra Great Olympics at the Dr. Kwame Chase Sports Complex, thanks to a goal from Frank Owusu. Let's take a look at the highlights.
It's looking a lot more difficult for Aduana Stars, trying to make the inroads, trying to create the spaces, but just not hitting the target. What comes through? This is good enough. Yes, Emmanuel Jemfi expecting the back, the pass again. He sets it across the face of goal. Goalkeeper spills it, and there it is.
Should be dealing with that threat here. Lovely play from Jemfi. Lovely 1-2 between him and Minta. And here he was still dangling and boiling up. But when Asari failed to make a firm grab, it fell for Owusu, who had an easier start to knock the ball.
Moving on to the UEFA Development Tournament, Ghana's under-17 team, the Black Starlets, made it back-to-back victories after beating Spain in their second game. A brace from Benjamin Chivagnon and Peter Hammond's strike ensured the 3-2 win at the ongoing tournament in Serbia. Ghana will next face Switzerland in their final game, while Spain will engage Serbia in their last match. Proceeding now to the English Premier League, Tottenham failed to boost their top 4 hopes, finishing, following a 3-2 home defeat to Bournemouth. Elsewhere, Brighton ruined Frank Lampard's return to Stamford Bridge with a 2-1 comeback win over Chelsea. Meanwhile, Manchester City closed in on league leaders Arsenal after a 3-1 victory over Leicester City.
To the end of the season, and then there's a lot to do, isn't there? Players in, players out.
Mudryk, one of the big January signings. Gross. It's a teasing cross, and it's an equalising goal. And Sithio. Oh, it's magnificent! What a goal!
It's a lovely run from Perisic. He's in behind here. Cut back for Son. Porro's lost it this time. Oh, that's a good chance for Bournemouth, and they're in, and they've scored through Viña. Works out very well for Solanke. Tavernier. Oh, past Sanchez. Solanke! Would you believe this? Oh, Danjuma! What a spectacular finish from the former Bournemouth player. Could there be a chance here for Bournemouth? It's a chance for Ouattara! Absolutely incredible! Norris with a deep corner, Haaland to attack it. Fast got there before him. Back in by Grealish. Stones is competing, up in the air by Christensen. Came down off Rodri, and Stones thundered it in! Erling Haaland, bang, 2-0! Steal from De Bruyne, who's running away from Ndidi and rolling it through for Erling Haaland! Well, Harry Souttar is a natural target here. Mind Fas and Soyuncu are plenty tall enough too. Souttar's up, and it's in by Iheanacho. And Leicester have a marginal interest, courtesy of their former Manchester City centre-forward.
That will be all for sports this evening. I am Aniela Alute. Up next is entertainment news.
Entertainment news segment is brought to you by Awake Purified Drinking Water and powered by 3 Entertainment.
Earlier today, the people of Ho were excited to have some of Ghana's topmost artists storm the Ho Sports Stadium to perform for them. Some residents of the Volta Regional Capital have been sharing their expectations ahead of the 24th VGMA Experience concert.
So this is one concept where I'm coming to you from Ho, the Volta Regional Capital, and tonight this is where all the action and excitement is going to be, because VGMA is organizing an exciting concert tonight. The VGMA Experience Concert, it is called, and all the showstoppers you can make mention of are going to be in this town. Medical, Stonebwoy, Wendy Shea, Chief One, of course, who is a top shot in this very community, and some up-and-coming talents will also be given opportunity to showcase their talent. So it's going to be very, very exciting tonight. The gospel fraternity will be represented by PACS Star, and of course, Celestine Donko will also be performing tonight. We have been interacting with some of their town folks, and they are very excited about the fact that VGMA is trying to replicate that experience that will happen on the night of the awards in the Volta region. And it will be turning up, they tell me, in their numbers.
The program here brings a lot of business in, so I'm very happy. I'm also in for a business. I'm very happy how things will come and how people will come from Accra for us to be excited. I'm also very excited just because of my business.
All right. I'm very happy that they bring this concert to Ho, because today I'm going to meet Medical face to face at Ho Sports Stadium. Oh, as for fun, yeah, we are planning. So today the Ho Sports Stadium will be giddy this night. I'm expecting to see big artists like Chief One, Stonebwoy, Medical, and many more.
I've been here for a very long time, and we've been hearing about the VGMA coming up in Ho live this evening on radio, on telly, and all that. And you know, we haven't had some artists in Ho before. As we've been doing a lot of programs, they have been coming back. I learned Medical and all that will be coming, Chief One and all other staffs from the music industry. They'll be coming live here in Ho this evening. So we are expecting nothing but just the best, to have fun, and everything goes on. All right, so VGMA Unsung Act of the Year nominee Chaka just made his way into the stadium, and he's
fireworks. There's infotainment, anything else, you understand? But you know, at the end of the night, we will see you understand? After tonight, you go understand. See, some people came here, say they can't leave message. Where some too can't say, and they can't just play. For Baba.
Like I told you, we are here.
All right, so the entertainment team is getting ready to bring you more on the VGMA Experience concert from the Volta region. Time now for international news.
A power struggle between Sudan's army and paramilitaries has seen fighting erupt between armed factions in the capital Khartoum and other cities. Tensions have increased between the government and the powerful Rapid Support Forces RSF in recent days. The RSF says it controls key sites in the capital, but Sudan's leader and head of the military has rejected its claim. The African Union, leading Arab states and the US have called for an end to the fighting and a resumption of talks aimed at restoring a civilian government. Sudanese groups and the ruling military junta failed to reach an agreement last week on a handover of power. Former Sudanese Prime Minister Abdullah Hamdok, in a video posted on his Facebook account, called for exchange of fire must immediately stop. What's happening now is the latest upheaval since the toppling of Sudan's long-serving president Omar al-Bashir.
And that's how, you want to say that? And that's how we bring the bulletin to an end. Thank you very much for watching. My name is Martin Esiedudate.
And I am Aisha Yakubu Khalid. At 9 p.m. we bring you the VGMA Experience Concert. So definitely stay tuned to TV3 and enjoy the rest of our programs. Good evening.
Ciao.